This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Uh-oh, is that too soon? Bung!
R.I.P. R.I.P. Johnny K.
2 deaths this episode, technically.
And one was taken right back.
One sticks. Only one sticks. One got better. Hi, welcome to the Talon Mix. It is a Smallville recap podcast. I'm Brian. Zach and I watched Smallville together in college, and now we're doing it again in our 30s. And this is a milestone for Smallville, not a milestone for us. This is the 100th episode of Smallville. We had our 100th episode an indeterminate amount of time ago. We've done...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, probably like 15 episodes ago or something like that. You know.
So I'm still impressed with us for sticking with something.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Especially when there's literally no one besides the two of us to hold us accountable if we didn't do this.
That's what amazing.
That's what makes it impressive. Amazing. We answer to no one for this podcast.
Truly, not one time has an episode not gone up on time. Have I ever gotten any that I've never gotten a tweet like, hey, when's the new episode coming?
Yeah. Usually it's like, hey, sorry, we something happened. We're a few days late. And people are like, oh, thanks for the reminder. You have a show.
Oh, right.
I totally forgot.
Zach, you're icing your wrist right now. You've got your wrist elevated. You nearly got Johnny Cade on the basketball court.
Oh man, yes, I broke my wrist playing basketball last Wednesday, and I had surgery on it today. So I'm okay. The numbing agent that they give you has not worn off yet, so I'm happy right now.
Once again, accountable to no one. It would have been perfectly reasonable. Like, hey, I'm having surgery on my wrist today. I don't think I want to talk about Smallville. And you're like, nope, I'm good.
No, I factored it in. I was like, I want to do this before the medicine wears off.
Sure.
Right? Like, I don't know how I'm going to be feeling Thursday night, Brian. Right now, I'm like, let's
totally
get this
fair.
Done. The funny thing is, my mom drove me because it was anesthesia, so they they have to put you under. So someone has to give you a ride. And we pull over to the curb, and as I'm getting out of the car, I almost ate shit into like a 6-foot ditch with rocks at the bottom of it.
Oh my God.
You don't realize how close I came. I didn't realize it was there. Like, this almost went from this minor wrist surgery to
you fucked up.
Yeah, serious fucking medical shit. So yes, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful I didn't end up in a ditch this morning.
There we go. So man, it's here. We did it. We made it to 100. We watched Reckoning. It's the 12th episode in the 5th season of Smallville. It's the 100th episode overall. It aired January 26th, 2006.
This one's usually in the top 5 of lists online, right? Usually in the top 5, top 10 of best episodes.
Which is interesting because it's not even notable on mine, I feel like.
No,
I was a little disappointed by this one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But I will say I do understand why people put it there. It just didn't work for me the way I think it works for other people. But it is a monumental episode. Like, it is a big turning point in the series. For sure. And I think
I liked it more. I think I liked it more when I saw it then than I did now.
Right. It's definitely.
So I guess there's really no need to beat around the bush. We can just get straight into the recap because, oh my God, I have so much to talk about. For an episode that's like not great, I have a lot to talk about.
Again, it's monumental though. So
yes,
there's a lot to talk about.
So getting right into it, I'm of course reading directly from the Smallville wiki, smallville.fandom.com. Once again, thank you for writing notes for our show for us. Clark is sitting in his loft.
And then we make fun of you a bunch.
Yeah, just relentlessly. Just 2 35-year-old men making fun of the teenager.
Other 35-year-old men. No, come on. Be real. Maybe they were a teenager when they wrote it. But now they're our age.
I do wonder how old these are. I'd assume they're pretty old. These are some older internet, right?
Oh, for sure.
Relics.
I mean, you can update them. Anyone can update them, right?
Right. We could update them right now. We never do. We never contribute to the Smallville wiki community. We just fucking peanut gallery it.
Well, we contribute our opinion, and if other people want to apply it, I encourage them to take their. Also, what about our scholarship? I have a tally right behind me that I have to explain to people when they come over to my home. Sure, I could not hang it on my bulletin board, but...
What? Why are you tracking concussions of a man?
Yeah. Are these your concussions? Are you okay? Car crashes. Holy shit!
You have more than Johnny Knoxville. You're the same number.
The same number. Yeah, one more and you're dead.
That's it. Clark is sitting in his loft holding a piece of coal. He looks like he is seriously contemplating something very important, and of course, one of the two needle drops is playing right now. And it is James Blunt's Bam No. It's James Blunt's You're Beautiful, which is
it's true.
An awful song. It's an awful song.
Yes, it's terrible. I think this is the worst needle drop of the show because it's an important moment and we're sullying it with this garbage. I don't want to spend too much time bad-mouthing this song because, as you and I discussed, this song has been kicked enough already. Like,
it's a little bit of an ice-cold take. Stop, it's already dead.
Right. I think the guy who wrote the song came out and said he hates the song. So,
he said it's the most meaningless song on that album. I believe the general gist of it is that he was high on the train. And he saw his ex with a new boyfriend, and he went home and he wrote a little song about it. And it's the only song that played throughout 2005. I think that's
look good for him.
Largely why we all hate it, right?
Exactly. Yes, it's not his fault that they played it to the point. Like I didn't like it to begin with, but they played it so much that it's like
it was
anything you play that much, it's gonna be like just turn that shit off.
Who wanted it on that much? No one likes this song. It
is one of those songs that's like obnoxiously catchy.
Yes.
Like not catchy in a good way, but you can't get it out of your.
Oh, it's in my head now. It's in. it's opened up an old wound and it's festering now.
I don't know if you remember this, but I remember you and I in college because this song was still a big thing. Especially hated this song. Like we spent time.
It came out in 2005. This episode aired in 2006, and then I probably would have watched it probably later, 2007. So a year after that. So the crest of this song is we're still in the wake of it. It's still playing all the fucking time.
Right? Yeah. No, it didn't die down at all. We were still having to listen to this fucking song. And,
I will say then
spent a lot of time.
It was an angry, I fucking hate that. Goddamn this. Now, I won't say I like the song or I have affection for the song, but it's now when it came up in this episode, it was rather like, oh, I hate this song, and more, oh, I hate this song.
Totally. Nostalgia is a funny thing.
Yep.
Because even if you hate it, it reminds you of a different time in your life, and
exactly.
The world was a different place.
It's kind of nice to remember hating things that much. I coast on a real neutral scale right now of most things or whatever. Oh, I used to hate things to a deep degree.
I don't think this is necessarily one of these songs, but there are songs that I didn't like when they first came out, but they beat you into submission after 15 years. Mm-hmm, and nostalgia plays a big part, but you're like, yeah, fuck it. All right, I like this song.
Absolutely. And
I don't like this song, but I'm not actively angry about it anymore. It's whatever.
Right. If someone sings it at karaoke, we're all singing it,
Yes, hopefully ironically, but yeah.
Oh, sure. But, okay, so Lana appears behind Clark and says she's ready to go wherever he promised to take her. But she can't figure out why she needs snow gear. She even says something to the effect of, like, I don't think a mystery date is what our relationship needs right now, which is like, that's something you say with someone you are breaking up with now.
Right, yeah.
That's something like a married couple on the edge of divorce is like, what are we doing? You're doing a mystery date. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I simply am repulsed by the idea of fucking you.
Except for we know she's not.
No, we know Lana comes in. A mystery date is not what our relationship needs right now. Our relationship needs for you to dick me down now. Right here in this loft.
Sure.
Let's
right in the barn,
go.
Even though it's cold and I'm sure there's no heating in here.
I am ready to go.
They don't heat the barn, do they? Because he's Superman. He doesn't need heat.
He does. No.
So guests must come over and be like, "How do you stay out here all day in the winter? It's fucking freezing."
It's my secret. So Clark takes Lana to the Kawachi Caves. Fun fact, this is the final shot for the final new shot ever taken in the Kawachi Caves.
Oh, really? We're
last
done.
One. It is seen, I believe, a few times more, but it's all previously shot footage. This is the final new shot in the Kawachi Caves.
Well, man, we're mourning more than just Johnny K's death this episode.
We're mourning the Kawachi Caves.
Kawachi Caves. You didn't age well, but we had fun anyway. Sorry, I don't know.
No, I think you should do that every time we're saying.
That's the anesthesia. It hasn't worn off yet.
Oh, yeah. So they go to the Kawachi Caves, and they are transported to the Fortress of Solitude, which is looking a little more PlayStation 2 than I think it did even last time.
Yeah, well, there's more shots probably than they had last time.
Right.
They got to spread it out. It also seems to have gotten bigger, right? Or maybe we're just seeing more of it.
Maybe we're just, or also, who knows? Maybe it gets bigger. It could be growing.
Yeah, whatever. Why not? There's magic crystals in there.
Right. Lana is in shock as she looks around the fortress. Clark then reveals his powers by lifting her into his arms and making a super-powered leap onto the cliff above them. They land, and she asks how many times was he there saving her life without her knowing. I feel like she knew most of the time.
Right. I have no... so I'll just say it now. Well, you and I have both praised the acting this season, particularly from all the main actors, these two included. Yes. I will say I don't think either of them is doing their best work in this scene.
No, I agree.
Neither of them sells me on the moment. And I'm wondering if it's because they read the script and they know we're taking this back. So I don't want to give that performance here because I'm going to have to give it another day down the road.
Right. That's a great point.
Maybe not consciously, but maybe subconsciously they don't get there because I don't buy either of them, especially not Lana. Her reactions are like, you know, like when someone, you know, tells you they lost 10 pounds, you're like, oh, like that's the reaction that she gets.
A-game, and this isn't it. Yeah, for sure.
Her reaction is like, oh, okay. Right. Oh, alien from another planet.
Oh, how many have you been around? Have you just been around doing this? Wow.
Yeah. Or she goes, she's like, I had no idea. Or she's like, but you're just a regular person. you don't think that. You don't think that.
He just brought you to an ice fortress through the magical caves in Kansas. Right.
But even before then, the conflict is that you know he's not, and he won't tell you.
Right. You knew he was a little freak. Right. What's some shit? What did you know? It's also funny. I can't help but compare to. I've talked about before. I'm a fan of the currently running CW show Superman and Lois, which in the second season, Superman does reveal to platonic friend Lana Lang that he's been Superman this entire time, and it's a real moment. He takes the glasses off and he lifts himself into the sky, and you have this monolithic Superman image, and this is not that. This is not that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they should do, in whatever Superman show they do next, they should have that moment, and the other person should go, yeah, I know, obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. We all know.
You put glasses on and we're all like, whoa, where'd Clark go?
You came back from the dead, asshole. I'm not a moron.
So then, let's see. Clark surprises her again as he crushes a piece of coal and turns it into a diamond and uses his heat vision to seal it into a ring. Okay. Whoa. This is too many bombs at once, Clark. Whoa. No one said do that.
Yeah, I think that's a rough move. I mean, from a writing standpoint, I guess it makes the loss bigger.
Gotta get the yes before she realizes the meteor killed her parents.
Right. Yes. Hold on. Pause. I was going to wait to get to this, but in the next scene, or a few scenes later, when she tells him yes, no mention of the meteors killing her parents.
No.
Did he skip over that, or did we have that scene and we just didn't get to see it?
I'm imagining Clark is just like hoping it doesn't come up. Maybe we won't put two and two together.
Is that because the writers don't want to shoot their wad on that either? Like, they don't want that scene. They don't want her reaction to that, because then if she reacts positively, then in future episodes, Clark can't use that as an excuse not to tell her anything.
Right. That's true. I think there's that. I think it hasn't been used as a thing. Time is another thing, because that's a whole, like, we're going to have a whole scene about that. We got a lot to do. And then it also hasn't been used for a very good reason in the past, like, couple of seasons.
I mean, the last time it was used was Fear Toxin episode in the middle of season 4.
Right. So it's been a little while since that's on the top of anybody's mind.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, even if you take that out, she should have a lot more questions.
Right.
Than she does about the whole thing.
Right. This is a whole episode. I would watch a whole episode of them sitting down. So, like, what up with your cum, though?
Right. Yeah, he should explain to her, will you marry me? We may never be able to do it. Just so you know. Right. You're frustrated now.
Right. I think anytime I get a hard on, I might set you on fire. It's a maybe. It's a maybe.
Or shoot sperm through your back.
I really would hate for it to happen, but it's a possibility.
Kryptonite condom doesn't work. I tried it.
Tried it. Makes me feel real bad. I just don't like it. I don't like how it feels, Lana.
Yeah, it's not as good of a feeling.
I don't like the poison, the radioactive poison going through my head. Okay. Query. Zach? Can't believe this is the hole we're going down. I said before we started recording, I would like if this was a good first episode for people to jump into. Anyway, so about a kryptonite condom. Would this, in theory, give Lana superpowers?
Specifically, one part of her might have superpowers.
I mean, I think it's worth discussing. We got to call up Talkville.
What if the power is that she's just turning out super babies, right? They come out, they go kryptonite.
I mean, then why bother with the kryptonite condom? Isn't that like the whole
Smallville
point?
Rules state that she absolutely would get powers of some sort, whether they're worthwhile powers or shitty powers. That's, it's a roll of the dice.
Look, sometimes you get something cool. Sometimes you end up like Wheat Boy.
Oh, Wheat Boy.
Oh, Wheat Boy. So I also love, so Clark crushes a piece of coal into a perfectly cut diamond. Like, they don't just come out of the mines looking like that.
He worked on it. He practiced that trick.
I'm also wondering if maybe he had the cut one ready to go, crushed it, super sped, go get the cut one back lightning fast, ready to go. Sure. It's not lying, it's dramatic flair. There's a difference. So, let's see. He proposes to Lana. He tells her she doesn't have to answer right then and says he'll give her some time to think, considering that his secret is a big thing to deal with. Interesting choice, and I wonder why I guess they wanted to give her a scene later, which she has, where she comes and says yes. I don't quite know why they didn't just have her say yes here.
Right. I mean, I guess because it would be a big decision and a lot to take in. But
that's why I would have made it two separate questions, Clark. I would have
right, yeah. Maybe like a week later.
Yeah, right?
Like,
I don't know.
Gauge and see how she's doing with the whole thing.
Right, right. So that's boom, we get the Somebody Save Me, of course, our theme song. And they return to Smallville, and Clark tells his parents he proposed to Lana. And I have a clip.
Oh, great.
Worst joke I ever heard.
Oh, come on, you liked it. Hey, I thought you were going to meet us at the polls.
I kind of took a shortcut, get all this loaded up before the victory party tonight.
Mark, I appreciate your confidence in me, but come on, I haven't won anything yet.
Mom, Dad, I have something important to tell you. I, told Lana everything.
What?
Right before I proposed to her in the fortress.
So, what did she say?
I asked her not to tell me yet. It's a lot to put on her all at once.
Clark, have you really thought this whole thing through?
If I was ever going to risk sharing who I really am with someone, I wanted to be with her.
I'm proud of you, Clark. I know this has been weighing on you for a long time. Just like with this election, any big decision has risks with it.
I guess it's just hard looking over at your son and realizing you're talking to a man. A man who doesn't need his father's advice anymore.
I'm always going to need you, Dad.
And, of course, we end on Clark and Johnny K hugging because he's always going to need his dad. And I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen here. Nothing bad. I want to throw out there, hey, Clark, kind of a big day for your dad.
Right, he couldn't do
something he's been working towards for a little while. Kind of a big, stressful day. Maybe.
I didn't think about that.
Maybe it didn't have to be about you.
Yeah, right, exactly. Also, you are a superhuman who is probably a hard shadow to live in for your dad, and maybe let him have his victory day on his own.
Just one day, just one fucking day for Johnny K. Without you coming out like, I have big news.
Also, I do appreciate Johnny K. Have you thought this thing through, Clark? Yeah, for 5 seasons, buddy. We've all thought it through for a real long time.
If you asked Clark, hey, what do you think about Lana Lang?
Oh, I didn't realize until you played that clip that the opening sort of pre-lap of the scene is Martha Kay going, that's the worst joke I ever heard. And he's like, you laughed, didn't you? What inappropriate joke did Johnny K tell?
I don't know. Gotta say, love that bit of business. I love a little bit
I
of
like
business.
it too, but I'm telling you that joke, whatever it is, hasn't aged well.
That joke would get us in trouble.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is. Okay. So Jonathan tells him he's old enough to make his own decisions without the advice of his father, and that he and Martha are happy for him. Lana goes to the Talon apartment, where she arrives just in time to stop Lois from falling off of a chair. She tells Lois that she has a big decision to make. At the same time, Clark goes to the Daily Planet and tells Chloe about his proposal. Chloe is surprised, but happy for her friends. She tells him that he is lucky to know so soon exactly what he wants in life. Lana goes to the Kent farm and accepts his proposal.
So, in the scene with Lois and Lana, Lana kind of reveals to Lois that she has learned some surprising information about Clark, basically.
Right.
Or someone she cares about, and then Lois guesses that it's Clark. And Lois says, are we talking secretly an arms dealer or crying game? And
I missed that.
Oh, then you must have missed Lana's reaction, which was nothing like that. Which just goes to show you in 2006 in the mainstream, it was it was more concerning if someone revealed to you that they were transgender than if they revealed to you that they were an alien from another fucking planet.
Things are I'm not saying things are great right now generally in the culture. I'm not saying they're great. I'm saying we have come a long way.
Yes, in certain areas we have. Yeah. Nothing like that. Oh my gosh, no. Jeez.
May we always continue learning and improving.
Don't joke about that, Lois. No. He's an alien from another planet. It's totally fine. Way less of a change or concerning.
Right. Oh, man.
Oh, I can't believe you missed that one. I was just like, oh, no. I wasn't going to take notes this episode, and then I was like, I need to take notes this episode. There's also a Nietzsche line from Lois there, because she's
what was that?
She's like, a person could do a lot worse than to end up with Clark Kent or something like that. And guess what?
Clark Lois Nietzsche's.
Lois is going to end up with Clark.
Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed?
The scene with Chloe is like we're setting up this Groundhog Day bit.
Yeah. Right,
where Clark comes into the Daily Planet and a lot of really specific things are happening in the background.
Yes.
So that later, just saying if we should relive this day somehow, he can explain
just hypothetically,
he could prove to her that he has lived it before by predicting all the things that are happening. But something weird's going on with all this shit happening.
Right. I kind of wish we played with this Groundhog's Day thing more.
For sure. I mean, that could be a fun episode in and of itself.
I think that would have been a better use of this concept here.
Agreed.
And the lesson Clark learns.
Agreed. But usually, something's up because usually in the Daily Planet, no one else exists.
Right. It's just Chloe.
There's no one.
The strike is over.
Right.
Right. That's funny. I didn't even clock that at all. So I do have the clip here of Lana accepting Clark's proposal. I do think this is much better than some of the...
yes, agreed.
So let's watch that.
Thought I'd see you at the party.
I know, but then there'd be all those people.
Do I look different to you now?
Clark, you look like the same handsome guy I've always known.
Handsome as in I want to spend the rest of my life with you, or handsome as I'm gonna let you down easy?
As in, yes, Clark, I'll marry you.
They're much better here, but man, I wish we had more time to play with them throughout the course of the season in this episode. How much better would all of these dramatic conflicts all come to a head in this episode if we actually had a chance story-wise to care about their relationship?
Right, we got invested in it. I was just thinking, that was a very Christmassy kind of scene. You can't see it on a podcast, but it's snowing. The music is kind of Christmassy. You could have had that be the Christmas episode. Not that I want them to get rid of Lexus, but him proposing is the end of the episode and revealing himself to her. And then you have an episode or two at least to live in that world and be like, oh, this is fantastic. Right. And then it all goes to shit.
It's twisting the knife only really works if you want the other thing, and you don't give me a chance. They didn't give me a chance.
Well, also, I saw this episode when it aired. Like, I wasn't watching the show regularly, but they were advertising it as, the episode where he tells Lana. And so I was like, oh, he's finally fucking telling me. I got to watch
Got
it.
it.
So I watched.
Got it.
And you knew watching it,
Yeah.
this isn't going to stick. You're like, this is not going to stick.
I feel like in college, we'd talk about the famous Smallville, like, first 2 acts where everything's great. Everyone's having a great time. Everything's going to work out for everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
And then we kill Clark Kent's dad.
We'll get more. Well, I'll have more to say when we get to the big kind of middle moment of the episode. But you kind of knew this. This isn't no. Mm-mm.
Which is funny. Apparently, according to the Smallville season 5 companion, director of this episode, Greg Beeman, talked about the actual plan in the writers' room was either what does happen where they kill John Schneider, or their big 100th episode thing was Lana and Clark were going to get married for real, which would be an interesting twist.
Well, yeah, then you have to break them up at some point, right?
Right. I wonder when that decision was. That like early storyboarding, like were they into the season? Like, I don't know, maybe we'll marry them.
I really do think the correct decision was made in this episode and then undone, which we'll talk about. We'll talk about, but I think that we'll get to it.
Sure. Okay. So Lois is holding an election party for Jonathan at the Talon, where she announces to the crowd that Jonathan has won his bid against Lex for Kansas State Senator, resulting in much celebration. During the party, Jonathan gets a mysterious call and angrily agrees to meet the caller. Lana gets a call from Lex. She goes to his mansion where he is drunk and depressed over losing the election. I think Rosenbaum is doing good work here. A good drunk work, I think, personally. Lois is holding an election party for Jonathan at the Talon, where she announces to the crowd that Jonathan has won his bid against Lex for Kansas State Senator. Gotta say, I always keep forgetting he's like running against Lex. I know that's
a big plot point.
I know it hasn't like not come up, but like I feel like we don't really see Lex's side of things very frequently.
Yeah, we maybe didn't take advantage of that storyline as much as we could have.
I would have been interested to see this more from Lex's perspective. Lex, I don't feel, has a running for state senate storyline. It's just he's the foil. He's reacted against here more than anything else.
I did want to point out, just a follow-up from last week's segment where we tried to guess what party these gentlemen are affiliated with.
Yes.
Johnny K and Martha K dressed in red at the party. Red
Good
tie,
catch.
red dress.
Good catch. So during the party, Jonathan gets a mysterious call and angrily agrees to meet the caller. Lana gets a call from Lex. She goes to his mansion where he is drunk and depressed over losing the election. Kind of noted here, he didn't have a speech to give.
No.
Wasn't having a party himself.
Well, suddenly this turns into a realistic state senate run because he doesn't have a party. No one gives a shit. And then Johnny K's doing his party at the Talon, right?
Right.
Where are those 1,000 people that were at his speech the other day?
Yeah, right. Lex, I think, is doing some pretty good drunk acting here. Rosenbaum is good. Rosenbaum's very good. He's selling the heartbreak.
I think he's great.
Losing something he wanted.
I think this is a fantastic scene, actually, too, because he goes through like 3 phases. So at first, he's having a pity party, right? I lost the election, and Lana comes in, and he's like, "Oh, my father," and he's kind of rude to her. And then he apologizes, and then he sees the wedding ring, and then realizes that Clark has proposed, and she said yes. So then he becomes jealous of Clark, right? He becomes like, "I wanted you for myself." He doesn't say that, but that's what he's playing. Disappointment. Right. And then he realizes she knows Clark's secret, and then he becomes jealous of her. Then he's like mad that she knows and he doesn't.
It's really good. It's actually really good.
Yeah, it's great. And then, and by the way, good for you, Lex.
Yeah.
No, he's being a creep, but I am on your side on this one. We're like, Lana, don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Don't be like, Clark's totally normal. Fuck yourself. Get out of here.
Right.
Get out. He's like, how many times have you come to me talking about how Clark is hiding things?
Yep, for sure. So she goes to his mansion where he is drunk and depressed over losing the election. He notices Lana's engagement ring and asks why Lana would accept it when Clark has lied to her so many times. Lex then realizes that Lana knows Clark's secret. Desperate to find out what it is, he grabs her and yells at her. She runs off, and Lex follows her.
Yeah, that's not good. Not a good look, Lex.
Not good. As Lana speeds away with Lex chasing after her, she calls Clark. Let's go to the clip.
Lana, where'd you go?
Clark, I'm so sorry. I went to see Lex, and he was really drunk.
What happened?
He knows. I don't know how he could tell, but he could tell I was hiding your secret. I didn't say anything to him, but he got really angry.
Lana, that's okay. Where are you now?
I'm on Route 40 right before Loeb Bridge.
Pausing real fast here. Do you remember last week when Lana had like that headset?
Right, where'd that go?
Where'd the headset? She didn't have time to grab it.
She left it at Old Navy.
And actually, had she not been on the phone, maybe the following wouldn't happen.
Hold on. I like that this at the beginning of the phone call, she's like, Lex knows. How much of Clark thinks that she's going to add, you alien piece of shit? I told him. You fucking lied to me for 5 years, you piece of shit. Made me think I was crazy. Of course I don't want to marry you.
That asteroid slam dunked my dad.
Sure, he could have walked slowly out of the way, but he was in awe.
I believe here she also mentions that she's near Loeb Bridge. I assume that is a nod to Jeff Loeb.
100%, yeah. I mean, it's not a name you can just say, like, roll off your tongue easily.
She borderline looks to camera and is like the comic book guy.
Loeb Bridge.
That was when I would watch the shit in college. Every time like a name like that came up, it was like, I would just jizz in my fucking sweatpants. Like Clark wishes he could. And now like pop culture is so fucking inundated with it. It's like, yeah.
Yeah,
What the fuck
shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Keep moving. All right, continuing on.
Oh God, he's coming after me.
Lana?
Hurry up, Clark.
Hey, Clark. So we got Lex is pulling into the other lane and he's coming adjacent to Lana's car. Hey, Clark.
Clark have super speed.
Time to go. Go.
I think I texted you. I wish I was Clark's friend so I could just constantly remind him he has super speed. Just like
if only one of us could run real fast. And
it's gonna be even more relevant later in the episode.
How popular do you think? I know Clark's in college right now. If Clark was a partying young man, if Clark did that kind of thing, how popular would Clark be? Like, we're out of beer. No, we're not.
Boom.
Whoa! Oh!
Smallville.
Wasted opportunity. That's Red Cake Clark's move.
That's for sure. Why didn't we get the Red Cake College episode? Damn it.
Oh, fucking shit. That would have been good. I'm going to write a whole bunch. We should keep a list of Smallville specs we should write.
Yeah, just a whole season.
Yeah.
Smallville 4.5 or something. Like,
this podcast will turn into just us reading our Smallville fan fiction at each other.
Oh, and then we get. What if we could get Rosenbaum? And
That's it. What's Cameo for if not to get people to read your Smallville fan fiction?
We have to pay for each line.
Yep.
Probably $100,000.
Worth it. All right, Lex is pulling up beside Lana.
So we can talk.
Lana gets aced by a school bus. Fucking aced. Like her dad. By a meteor.
This car flips 17 times. It's also...
I didn't even think about the car. Now, here's the thing. Is this 1 or 2? This is 2, right? For the bus?
2. Oh, shit.
That bus ain't okay, right?
I don't know. Do we see it? It'll show in a second. Now, I had another point of order.
Yes.
If he goes back in time and undoes it, it still counts for our purposes, right? I think we've established that it counts.
I think so, yes.
Because we've had dream sequences where cars get destroyed, and we accept those.
Based on that precedent, yes, I certainly agree.
Yeah, because it's really, the point is more the production has a crashed car.
The show feed. We're checking how many times the show goes to that well, not how many times diegetically.
Yes. Okay. Great. I'm marking it down.
Great. Continuing on here.
No.
Lex gets out of the car. Clark has just arrived using the super speed he probably could have done and saved the day a little earlier with. And now Lex has seen Clark do it. This is for like the 4th time. Now this is the 4th time he's like learned of Clark's powers. And you know what? Rosenbaum nails it every time. Look on his face.
He does. Yeah. Well, he has to play grief and shock.
Right. Johnny K arrives. Clark looking over Lana's fucked up body. Fucked up.
Yeah, a lot of blood.
Come on. Lana! No! Lana! No!
We see Johnny K pulling Clark. Superman.
He's got a little kryptonite in his pocket. That's a great point.
I'm truly racked by grief.
Right, yeah, grief where he can't control it. Like, Johnny K's a pancake. He just flattens him out. I'm not, and Tom Welling is doing work here. Whether it's good or not, I think it's up for discussion. But I'm enjoying what he's doing here. I think it would have actually been very powerful, especially since we're going to take it all back anyway, if we just saw him, like, lose it. Right, yeah. He just clotheslines Johnny K with his pinky. Just like...
There's nothing you could have done. Nothing.
See, that's great. See, that's a great moment to have actually stick.
And that would have been that would have been a good decision.
This is the time to talk about this.
Yes.
First of all, I'm going to mark the bus down, even though we didn't see it, because I feel like there's no way that bus is driving home after that.
That bus ain't driving. That bus
part
ain't
of a crime
home.
scene. It's part of a crime scene. So, look, I'm sure it's annoying when you're a writer and people play Monday morning quarterback about your TV shows, but no one's listening
15 years
anyway.
later.
Yeah, no one's listening anyway. But I remember watching at the time, and I had the same thought of, wow, that's such a ballsy move, and it's really brilliant because it gives Clark a reason not to ever want to tell Lois his secret in the future or anyone else. Because as soon as he shares it with her, she dies. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And also even the moment where Lex looks at him, I was like, oh, that's ballsy. Lex, that's how Lex finds out. Like, we're just really going for it. And I get you don't want to get rid of Kristen Crook, but as we'll see on the show, that storyline had really run its course anyway, man.
It's all downhill for the next like 3 years she stays on the show.
We have some good moments with her and Clark and storylines and stuff, but we're just going back and forth with the same fucking thing now for a couple more years.
Circles. I remember like in my peak loving this show, being sick of it.
It's already been circles.
Not Kristen Crook's fault once again.
No, of course not. It's already been circles for 5 years.
Right.
Like we can end that now. You're going to rejuvenate the show, which is what happened when she eventually does leave. Right. It's not her fault. Again, you're going to rejuvenate the show. You're going to give characters real motivation to do these things. The stakes are going to be higher. There's some real drama here and real sense of loss. This was the move to make.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree at all. I think it would, in fact, be a whole lot stronger than what we get, which is the more common Superman thing. But here's the thing. It's not all the time. It's not all the time. Johnny K gotta die.
No. Again, I don't agree with the decision to kill Johnny K. I don't think you need to. Yeah. He didn't. The actor didn't want to leave, is from what I remember.
Oh, interesting. They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't think it was something he did. They were just like, this is a dramatic.
No. It's just like,
we need to change things up. But the thing is, Johnny K leaving the show doesn't change things all that much.
No, Johnny K is less. We've talked about it before. Is less of a presence than I remember.
Right. You're not. I think Johnny K being a senator is more interesting than him dying.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
But I just think they had this moment for a split second where I was like, oh, what a big swing. Go Smallville. Good for you. And then they're like, no. Back to status quo.
Right.
We can't possibly let this stand.
So distracted, she turns just in time to see a school bus. The bus slams into her car, causing it to flip several times, killing her. Clark super speeds onto the scene, witnessed by Lex, only to realize he's too late to save Lana. Jonathan, on his way to meet the mystery caller, stops on the side of the road and pulls a devastated Clark away from Lana's body, telling him there was nothing he could do.
It's very, is that my daughter in there? A truly heartbreaking moment in a really good movie that has just been ruined forever by
1,000,000%
memes and
just is what it is.
It's like what's in the box in 7. It's never gonna not be funny now.
Nope. Clark realizes that Lana's life is the price to pay for that Jor-El promised to collect when he resurrected Clark. You know what, Clark? Also, we were already talking about how the engagement maybe wasn't the best move. Maybe don't get engaged while your father's fucking headhunting. Which one? Which one? Am I going to hit the button? Am I going to...
Right.
Huh?
You know your magic dad is actively looking for someone you love to kill. I would be like... Lana, let's break up for a while until someone dies.
Because, like, I will say, it's also, when Clark's powers are returned, it's a little presented like Jor-El's like, all right, I brought you back, now I'm going to fucking kill somebody. Though now he's a little like, the universe.
Right. I wrote that down. It's the universe's fault.
He's a little taking the foot off the pedal a little bit here. On the
universe is to blame.
It's because they've also been dancing around this too, right? Of like Johnny K, like they start with his heart not doing so great because of he got superpowers for a little bit before, and then
by Jor-El,
Right. And then there's this, so like this has been a mess. This is all like culminating, but it's not strong.
Is this their attempt to answer it and be like, Jor-El doesn't have powers to take life. He just knows the laws of the universe and knows that but he does say life force. Like he takes someone's life force.
Right. No. There's some tomfoolery happening here, and I see through it. So Clark realizes that Lana's life is the price Jor-El promised to collect when he resurrected Clark. He goes to the Fortress of Solitude and pleads with him to fix it. I have another clip. We're at the.
How could you take her away from me?
Human life is fragile, my son. You knew a life would be exchanged for yours.
Don't make her pay for my mistake. If I hadn't told her the truth about me, she'd still be alive. You have to let me fix it.
Your powers on Earth may seem extraordinary, Kal-El, but we are not gods.
We're riding a line. You literally brought me back from the dead.
Right.
This is not her destiny, and you know that. There has to be a way. There has to be a way to fix this. Please.
There is one trial you have yet to experience, but you must heed my warning. The tide of fate is impossible to stop. Even if you are able to alter one course of events, the universe will find a balance. There is only one crystal. Once you make this choice, there is no second chance.
So I love that Jor-El, Clark comes in like, I gotta fix it. And Jor-El's like, hey, sorry, pal, that's not possible. I really want to, though. Well, I guess we can pull out the magic oopsie crystal.
Yeah, the whoops crystal.
The whoops crystal. Now listen, it's whoops
only
crystal.
Got one of these.
We only got one of these. Are you sure you want to spend it on your dead fiance, Clark?
High school girlfriend.
Clark, I want you to think about. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's gone back in time. Is this maybe something you would, Jor-El? You've been hanging on to this. Also, like maybe Clark would have liked to know about the oopsie pistol or the oopsie crystal when he got fucking shot and he entered a devil's bargain with a thing that would fucking kill someone he loves in exchange for his own life. Maybe he'd love to oopsie crystal then. Or hey, Jor-El, maybe you would have used the oopsie crystal when your fucking planet blew up.
It was on Earth. He couldn't get to it.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Why would you leave your oopsie crystal billions of light years away? You idiot.
So this is where I wish, so we're going to do a Groundhog's Day thing. I think a more Groundhog's Day episode where Clark keeps going, because it's like, it's only going to work once. Well, how? Because he's going to go back to, this is why you don't do time travel, right? Because it doesn't actually make sense.
Yeah.
But like, so he's going to go back to before it was used, but it's still spent. Oh, it's a temporally like separate crystal. Okay. Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. But I do think him going back in time continuously, trying to save everybody, which just creates an additional problem, still creates that Superman lesson that you can't save everybody. That doesn't happen here.
No. Although that would later be, if we do that here, maybe they don't use it in the box office smash, The Flash, that came out earlier this year. That
is literally the plot of that movie, isn't it?
But I will, in your defense, that plot works better in a 45-minute episode of Smallville. Than that feature film. A movie we both enjoyed. We
enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it was a good movie, but I enjoyed it. We talked about it on our Patreon, if you're so inclined. Though, it's just two adult men going, yeah, I don't know, I had fun.
Yeah, Michael Keaton.
He's here. Okay, so Clark, blah, blah, blah. Jor-El gives Clark a crystal that will reset the day back to the beginning. However, he warns Clark that fate cannot be stopped, meaning that even if Clark saves Lana, someone else will die. All right. When Clark takes the crystal, he is suddenly
Clark
back
could
in his
really
barn.
slow down here and be like,
yeah, right.
Wait, what? This is just... We're just playing Russian roulette with my family members at this point.
Yeah, right. Maybe it'll be Lex at some point. I could lose Lex.
Yeah, Lex and I are already on bad terms.
So when Clark takes the crystal, he's suddenly back in the barn holding the piece of coal. It plays again. We get the music cue again. What is it with that music?
Two needle drops in the same episode.
Yeah, that music cue trick is always like the Groundhog Day thing always uses the music cue trick. And you know what? It's good. It works.
It works.
But You're Beautiful, still a bad song.
I do want to say this scene you're about to recap, both of the actors do a much better job in this scene than they did in the first version of the scene. And again,
Agreed.
I think that's because they know this is the scene that's real.
This is the one that counts. Lana appears behind him just as she did at the start of the episode, and Clark has to make up a reason why he invited her over. Lana quickly realizes that Clark is hiding something from her again, and she breaks up with him. Depressed, Clark goes to Metropolis and tells Chloe everything, including how he had already lived the day, and about his proposal to Lana. Chloe is shocked to hear about all of it, but promises to keep an eye on Lana to prevent the accident.
I know I just said that they should have kept her dead because it would provide a great reason for him not to tell anyone in the future, because he told her and she died right afterward.
Right.
But I also think if you are given a redo, that lesson would go right out the window, and you'd be like, I could still tell her and save her.
Yeah, right. I can do both. I'll just won't go to Lex. You can't go to Lex.
She doesn't. I would explain to her, yes, I'm an alien. Also, there's time travel. It's not a leap after the alien thing.
I can only do it one time. Look,
this is my one chance.
I learned about the Uchi crystal 10 minutes ago.
I need you to literally stand next to me for the next 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll talk and we'll come up with a plan.
And then you will live in a padded cell where nothing bad will befall you.
Yeah.
Though I guess it still leads to the events where Johnny K dies.
Right.
Johnny K still gets worked out.
Right, but if Johnny K dies, I'm telling Lana right away. You know what I mean? I'm not like going to lose the love of my life and my dad after this. Like,
right.
What a bad deal.
If we're gonna it's now your dad's dead and you don't have a fiance.
Right.
Yeah, you might as well. I know you're grieving, but like, I don't know. Take one.
Yeah, I would be like, look, here's the deal. You died last time because you fucked up and don't have a poker face. So don't go around Lex until you can get a poker face.
Right.
You're the reason my dad died.
And also, you're only hanging out with Lex to like learn more about the meteor shower. I got all the answers. I know all of it.
Yeah. It was me.
Everything. It was me. It was me.
I killed your parents. Mystery solved.
Okay, so that night, Clark goes to the. Did we read about? Yes. Okay, so Lana breaks up with him. It's a very funny line of like Lana says something to the effect of like, "I need a break." A break from me? No, a break from us.
I think they lifted that line out of Friends.
Yeah, right.
So it's not much like Friends. It's not an official breakup. It's like a half breakup.
They're on a break.
Because I believe in the next couple episodes, they are still technically together in a
your dad
way.
Just died way.
Yeah, exactly. I can't break up with you really because your dad died.
Yep. Ooh, weird.
I would have liked to have seen Lana in this scene because she realizes in this scene that Clark was about to tell her something and then is having cold feet.
Yes.
And she's just like, fuck you, I'm out. I would have liked to have seen her like really dig into it, like tell me. Yes, exactly. I know you're about to.
Right.
Like, I don't know if he still does, but I would have liked to have seen that.
I mean, give her like tell me or I'm going to walk or I have to walk.
Right.
For my own sanity.
Yes.
And then that then puts it on him to be like, I'm not going to do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. Yes. Yep.
Okay, so that night, Clark goes to the party alone. When the news announces Jonathan's victory, Clark realizes that Lois is missing and finds her on the floor of her apartment unconscious, as Lana wasn't there to keep her from falling. The ground is covered in water, as Lois had started running a faucet before standing on the chair. And just as Clark picks up Lois, there's an electrical short, and Lois narrowly escapes death. She is sent to the hospital with minor injuries.
At this point in time, if Clark has the choice between losing Lois or losing Johnny K, who do you think he picks?
We know. We don't have to put that on Clark. But we all know.
I'm glad he didn't, though, because she ends up being the love of his life. So
there you go. There you go.
Good on you, Clark.
So she's sent to the hospital with minor injuries. Lana arrives at the party with Chloe, but Lex still calls, and Lana still goes to Lex's mansion. Lex kisses her and again upsets her.
Chloe, real ball drop by Chloe.
You won. Job, Chloe.
She's like, I won't let her out of my sight. Oh, wait, she's been gone for at least 30 minutes because she's already at Lex's house and running.
Right. Do you think Chloe realized it at 15 minutes and then came and then spent the next 15 minutes thinking, what the fuck am I going to tell him? How am I going to at all salvage anything? What can I say?
Coming up with an excuse. What if I slam my head into the wall and I get a concussion? And then
Clark, you weren't here and I fell really. Oh no!
Right, yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chloe's like, with Lana out of the picture, maybe Clark needs someone's arms to fall into.
Yeah, that's it. So Lana speeds away.
Lois, concussion.
Yes, for sure.
Almost missed that. Almost missed it.
Jesus.
This is the 100th episode. They should have hit all these categories.
Yeah. And we also shouldn't almost be missing things like that. We should be more on our fucking game.
Absolutely.
Lana speeds away, and Lex tries to apologize. But this time, Clark stops the bus before it hits Lana. However, he sees Lex consoling Lana about their breakup. The old swoop in.
Don't leave out the part where Johnny K drives by in the truck, sees Lex and Lana talking, and gives her the dirtiest look
the absolute
Johnny K has ever given anyone on this show.
The filthiest fucking, how dare that woman.
Yeah, and it's not like at Lex, it's like at Lana, you're dead to me. The look is, you're dead to me, Lana. You're dead to me.
Oh,
she's got to live with that for the rest of her life. Her last interaction with Johnny K was him looking at her hanging out with his son's nemesis and being like, you're done. You're done.
He
I don't
died with
again.
that pressed into his brain. Lana Lang. This time, Jonathan arrives at his destination, which turns out to be a secret meeting with Lionel Luthor back at the Kent farm. Lionel shows something to Jonathan that throws him into a rage, and they get into fisticuffs. I just have this clip here. I think it's really good, and I think it's
John Glover.
It's John Glover, it's John Schneider. John Schneider's bringing it as best he can. He's no John Glover, but nobody is. So here we are at the Kent farm.
Senator Jonathan Kent. And I didn't expect you to duck out of your victory party tonight, but I'm here, and I'm alone, as you requested.
Good. So why don't you come down here and face me, you son of a bitch?
Oh, perhaps a few lessons.
John Glover is so fucking good. Oh.
Yeah, he is in total control.
It's
of
so
this whole thing.
Fucking good.
Tact, Senator. Now that you're going to be in the public eye.
I do also love this little twist here of Lionel still wants some things out of this. To be clear.
Right, yeah.
I still got a mustache and I'm going to twirl it.
Cut the crap, Luthor. Sure, I know my campaign accepted funds from you, but I also know I'm going to pay them all back, so I won't owe you a thing.
I wonder how far that virtuous stance will get you once you're in office.
I just want to make sure you understand. You don't have a puppet here.
I should hope not. I didn't put my financial and political clout behind a candidate who would be anyone's puppet. I envision this rather as a partnership.
The day you and I become partners will be the day...
Careful, Senator. Don't forget, you and I have a common
It's also
interest.
worth remembering Lionel Luthor helped with the adoption of Clark. So he's always had this over Johnny K. He's actually always had leverage over Johnny K. The $80,000 is irrelevant.
We've kind of talked about that before, where it's like he must have known all along if he'd help with the adoption. Like,
right.
I think supposedly he figured it out when Jor-El entered his body at the beginning of the season or whatever the fuck.
Sure.
This is kind of a weird move by Lionel. Like, if you really want to manipulate Johnny K, this ain't the way to do it. Just come over and be all menacing to it.
No, right. I think maybe we're just trying to get Lionel's piece more fixed on the board of where we're moving with him moving forward, even if it don't make sense.
I feel like it is revealed later that he genuinely wants to protect Clark.
Right, so because he's part of some like secret organization that does.
It's weird though for him if he wants to protect Clark to go about it this way, but it's not like necessarily the wrong character choice because he's Lionel. Lionel also has other things he's interested in. He probably wants to protect Clark, but he wants to be calling the shots about it. He wants to be in control. Right.
Totally fair. All right, continuing on.
One that both of us would protect with our lives. I have nothing but respect for a man who would deliberately hurl himself into the spotlight with such a dangerous secret that must stay hidden.
Though he hands Jonathan a photo. I assumed this was Clark adoption things, but now I'm realizing that's not. This is probably whatever Lex had, right?
Well, he never had it, but the Lex's guy had, right?
Got it. Yeah. Right.
It's what Lex's meant. Although he burned that.
Though, like, Lionel's not going to somehow achieve.
Right. That's true. I assume it's a picture of Clark doing something super.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Why not show us?
Right, because they don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, right.
Probably.
You're right.
They haven't decided.
I won't let you destroy my family.
Johnny gets a sock in.
We can withstand anything you bring down on us. Because we have each other. That's what will always separate the Kents from the Luthers. Now, why don't you get...
Johnny's not feeling so good.
Why don't you get the hell off?
That was really good heart attack acting.
Great heart attack acting. A+. Yeah. So
the rest of the scene goes like this. Johnny K stumbles out of the barn just as Clark and Martha are getting home. He collapses. They run over and, Jonathan! And then Clark's like, no! And they sit there. The camera pulls back, for 15 seconds. Clark could have him at the hospital. Granted, it's Smallville medicine, but he could have him at the hospital now.
Now!
You don't have to wait for an ambulance.
What I want the exact shot from Man of Steel and Johnny K just holding up his hand like, no.
Tornado just shows up, takes him away.
This is once again where where I'm just imagining Zach, Clark's friend, who just says, "You have super speed.
Go, let's go. Do the thing. Time is important in heart attack situations, right?
One of the
there are some things they can try if they get to there quick enough, right? Like
maybe you use your super speed to go to Metropolis Hospital, just to be clear.
Right. Yeah, take the extra 0.5 seconds. Yeah, skip past Smallville Medical. Go to the vet before you go to Smallville Medical.
Because they're going to give him a foot rub. And like, is this doing anything?
You're like, no, yeah. Yeah, your Achilles tendon seems fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. So Jonathan dies in their arms. Martha and Clark drive up and catch him as he stumbles onto the ground. After taking a final loving look at his family, Jonathan dies in their arms as Martha and Clark beg him to wake up. Soon,
less begging, more running.
More running, Clark. No, my AI crystal dad won't allow it.
Maybe Clark's satisfied with this decision. He's like, I'll
take this one. Yeah, all right.
I don't want to do it all over again.
I can't listen to that fucking James Blunt song one more time. Because a banger's coming up on the needle drops.
Yeah, we redeem ourselves with the final needle drop. We have our worst and one of our best in the same.
Definitely,
episode.
this could be needle drop of the year for sure. Soon it is the day of Jonathan's funeral as he and Martha quietly prepare. Clark is overcome with guilt, knowing that his desire to save Lana ended up costing him his father. Martha tells Clark that he can't feel guilty because even if he had the chance, he would never have been able to choose between Jonathan and Lana. He confesses to her that he doesn't know if he can be the man Jonathan wanted him to be without him there to guide him. Martha assures him that he's already becoming a man Jonathan would be proud of. Clark helps Martha put on her necklace, and the devastated mother and son hug each other as they try to come to terms with what's happened. Good scene here. Ned O'Toole always brings it. All of Clark's close friends and several other Smallville residents attend Jonathan's funeral in Smallville Cemetery, including the Luthers. Lex stands in the back, unseen. This scene is so... I'll just finish the paragraph. But Lana comes over and holds Clark's hand as others leave. Clark is the last person at the gravesite. Alone and guilt-ridden, he picks up a handful of dirt and sprinkles it into his father's grave. I do feel like this scene's really good. We got the Peter Gabriel... I Grieve song playing. You are muted, Zach.
Yes, let me tell you, when I saw this episode for the second time when we were in college, immediately paid the 99 cents for that song on iTunes and
Great
played
fucking
it
song.
Maybe 75,000 times in the next few months.
Amazing song. I know this is Peter Gabriel. I do frequently play the game of, I thought this was a Phil Collins song.
Yeah, it's the Genesis game. Yeah,
it's the other Genesis guy. I think In Your Eyes, I lived my life thinking that was Phil Collins. And then I was in my dad's car. He had like the Sirius satellite radio thing. And I'm like, fuck, is this Peter? Is this fucking the other Genesis guy? Fuck.
I should hold my tongue because maybe I don't know Phil Collins as well. But in terms of solo work, I generally prefer Peter Gabriel's.
I think you're correct. Like I said, I think half of the stuff I like from Phil Collins I've attributed to.
It was just Peter Gabriel. Yeah,
it's Peter Gabriel. This scene's great. I love
whenever a band breaks up and people go into solo careers. Everyone's chomping at the bit to be like, who is really better? Let's find out.
Yeah.
It's like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon after Good Will Hunting. It's like, which one of you is the talented one? We've gone back and forth on that.
Several times.
I think they both are. I think it turns out.
You know what I found very charming? I watched some interview with them, and they said they kind of stopped making movies together because they didn't want to be they essentially didn't want to be like a duo act, right? They didn't want to be associated in that way. And then I think it's Matt Damon in an interview was like, at some point I was just like, I missed working with him, and like I wish I'd spent more time doing it. And now they work together a lot again, and it's delightful.
Right. They're like, why weren't we just doing this the whole time?
Right. And I think that's delightful. So this scene here, of course, we get the chunky fake snow, which is always to let you coming down in those big chunks.
Slow-mo.
Yeah.
Slow-mo.
Yeah, everyone's in the black. We kind of get a little bit of the pieces on the board in this. Like, we have Lex kind of away from the... Is Lex like, does this mean I win? Is that...
I do think at this point in time, Lex could still talk to Clark at his dad's funeral. You know what I mean? He could be up like, hey, man...
Could he? Yes. Does he want to? Is he even that far gone?
I think he's sad about Johnny K dying
because
he secretly wanted Johnny K to be his dad, right?
Right.
I think there's definitely a part of him always that just wants to be loved by the Kents and be a part of that family.
Right. I kind of wish we played with that a little more. I think but the image of Lex standing away from everybody.
It's great. Oh no, it's perfect.
It's such a good image. The Lana stuff is good.
Yeah, and then you're probably about to get to it, but you have Lionel kind of just brush by the front of the frame. He brushes by Martha and like gives her a little like I'm waiting in the wings.
Just immediately. Oh, it's so fucking good. Great scene, great needle drop. I would say this is the best part of the episode, and it's so melodramatic. But that's what I come to Smallville for.
Exactly. It is I mean, if you're gonna kill Johnny K, this is the best funeral you could possibly have. This is
exactly. This is the only shot where sans Johnny K, because he's presumably in the box, where the entire main cast is in the same scene.
Oh, really?
This is it. At least up until this point. I don't know if it'll happen again.
Yeah.
Let's go through some fun facts. The featured music, of course, was "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt and "I Grieve" by Peter Gabriel. Let's see here. The wiki here has the writers knew what they were going to title this episode sometime beforehand. Yeah, that's all of them. All the episode titles are determined sometime before the air date.
I bet a couple of them, they were like, okay, fuck, they're calling us. They're about to air the episode. They need a title.
Fucking fire.
Yeah. Transference.
Yeah.
They had a thesaurus on the writer's table for sure.
Yes.
To name these fucking episodes.
Okay. I'm just looking through some of the things we've kind of already covered. This was the last newly filmed Kawachi Cave scene. Let's see here. Dude, this is obviously compelling as I cold read a whole bunch of facts. They mentioned the perfectly cut diamond. Let's see. When Lana says yes to Clark's proposal in the Kent's yard, on the screenshot of Lana, it is snowing. In the screenshot of Clark, this is not the word for screenshot. This is just shot. The shot of Lana, it's snowing. The shot of Clark, it is not.
That's literally half the episodes in the show are where it's kind of raining and kind of not.
Yeah, right.
Scene. They filmed in Vancouver. Yeah.
Plus, when they zoom out of the shot while they're still talking about the proposal, you can notice the snow falls around them isn't in their hair or on their clothes.
Oh,
at the end
my
of the scene,
gosh.
At the end of the scene outside, Lana magically has snow in her hair.
You know, a lot of this is HD problems.
That's true.
Again, especially the rain thing where, like, we shot this for standard TVs.
Right. Yes.
And now we're watching it in HD and we can see all the imperfections.
Right. One thing that I think is interesting is there is a deleted scene. It's apparently available on the DVDs where Clark brings Jonathan to the fortress. And it's like, no, bring him back. And Jor-El's like, nah, sorry, I killed him. I killed him good.
That's why he didn't take him to the hospital. He's like, I'm just gonna go to Jor-El. I know he has another oopsie crystal.
He's got sure. One. He told me it was one, but like he didn't tell me about that one. He was
right. Yeah, he's got at least
one more oopsie crystal. I'm glad that scene's deleted. I don't think we need it. I think that cheapens it.
Yep.
Let's see.
Although I would like a scene of him going to the fortress and just tearing that fucker down piece by piece out of anger. Like,
that would have been good.
You know, he has a conversation with Jor-El after this. Like he goes back up there and like,
yes, definitely. Greg Beeman. This is he was the director of this episode. This is the last time he directs an episode until season 9. He'll direct an episode of season 9, and then he will direct the finale of the series.
Oh, wow.
Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum are the only actors to appear in every single one of the first 100 episodes.
Interesting. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And I guess that's everything. When Clark tells Chloe that he has already lived this day, she responds, "What did you do? Spin the Earth backwards on its axis." So that's a Nietzsche line we missed.
Is that a Nietzsche line? Yeah, I guess it qualifies.
What did you do? Spin the Earth backwards on its axis to go back in time? I'd say that's Nietzsche.
Yeah, that's a reference to the movie. It's not. I thought Nietzsche was like, this thing's going to happen someday. But I think you're right. No, I think that certainly counts. I think you're right.
Yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the 100th episode, Reckoning. Wow. Holy crap. Zach, to 100 more.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
The
200th is really good, if I remember right.
I believe that is, yes, a very common consensus. I think that sticks the landing better than this one does. I haven't seen it. I'm excited too.
The whole thing is spectacular.
So this has been the Talon Mix. Obviously, it's a Smallville recap podcast. We have a Patreon. There's a link if you feel so inclined. We have some bonus stuff. As always, a review or just a nice comment in our Discord really makes our day. Thank you if you take the time to do so. We appreciate you so much. This show is one of the highlights of my week. It's so fun to do. And as we do the 100th episode, I just want to say, some days I'm more excited to do it than others, right? Some weeks I'm dragging my feet a little bit on actually getting it up, making it happen. I want to say, though, Zach, I'm so glad we do this.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man.
I don't know if people know, people may not remember this. We don't talk about it every time, but we always stayed in touch from college, but we started hanging out weekly again for the first time.
We stayed in touch via first Facebook messaging and then text.
Yes.
We didn't speak until this show.
Yes.
I didn't hear your voice until this show.
Yes. And now, you're one of my best friends in the entire world. And
hell yeah, man.
So sometimes I drag my feet. It's the thing that's never a drag. The thing that's never hard to do is to hang out with you once a week, man.
Fuck yeah. Thank you. Right back at you, man. This is often the highlight of my week. It's a lot of fun. And 200 more, whether anyone's listening or not.
They very well may not be. We'll still be here. Zach, do you have a question for the Smallville gods?
Oh, yeah. I do have a question for the Smallville gods. After Johnny K wins this February election and dies, what are they going to do about his Senate seat? Is it possible that they're just going to give it to his wife?